Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Andrea Cattaneo, who's Executive Chairman at Zenith Energy. How are you today, Andrea?
Very good, thank you. Zach, and you?
I'm doing well. Also, it would appear that Zenith's doing well at the moment. You've had a positive arbitration result. Maybe you can explain that to us.
In 2020, we were invited by two national oil companies to have a look to their properties in Tunisia. And so, shortly after the pandemic started, but we continue to stay in Tunisia despite the pandemic, and we completed in 2021, in the spring, the acquisition of other two companies that we found available in the country that they were producing 1,000 barrels. And then we continue to buy the property from Chinese National Petroleum Company, CNPC, which sold to us CNPC Tunisia. The CNPC Tunisia had a great field called Sidi El Kilane, SLK, which was historically explored and found and discovered by Alpha Kitain, and which has a very strong potential. And we bought it in November 2021. So as a result, at the end of 2021, Zenith found itself at the end of the pandemic and with four fields with great promising production for 25 years and reserve. In February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. And the oil price shot up to above $110 per barrel. 2 months later, the Republic of Tunisia sequestrated all our assets and all our oil in the port and all our cash and receivables. We reacted immediately after a formal mediation, and already in June we were in litigation, starting with the first arbitration, which we call internally ICC 1, which stands for International Chamber of Commerce 1, because it's the first of three arbitration. This first arbitration started in the summer of 2022, has been receiving the sentence, the award, yesterday. And so we published yesterday the award, which has been a blatant victory, in the sense that not only the capital of the oil that has been probbed to us, for which we seek the recovery, has been considered a sentence to be paid, but which is more damaging for the Tunisian, interest rate at the rate of 14% and capitalized monthly and payable from the day in which they should have been paid, May 2022, to the day in which we will finally get the last dollar. So every month we calculate the Tunisian accumulate an additional accrued liability of between $80,000 to $100,000 per month. And so that is obviously an encouragement for us to seize something and to get this money paid to us, but for them as well to settle, because a very expensive debt that costs such amount of money every month. As all our property have been sequestrated in the period of 2 months, Zenith, after starting ICC 1, has as well started ICC 2. Then we discovered that we were quite lucky because all our investment has been made out of London using British company. And there is a very serious treaty between United Kingdom and Tunisia, which is the investment treaty, which of course the Tunisian have made many breaches too. So we started a different type of arbitration, which is the Ecumed arbitration, which is sitting in the building of the World Bank in Washington, which is the entity monitoring the breaches to treaty. And we have then a third arbitration called Ecumed 1 for us, which is our third arbitration.
And so why, I mean, this is if it seems to be quite an open and shut case, Why can't you just get round a table with the Tunisians and just come to an agreement? I mean, they took your properties away and you say, well, give them back and give us the money back.
Well, there are three aspects that should be taken in consideration for making an approach to settle. The first is that the Tunisian thinks to be more clever than Zenith. And the second is that they didn't expect to lose 100%, but to have maybe a sort of half colored sentence. And the third is that they don't see coming the amount of claims that they will have to pay. Because while the first, as you have read yesterday, the first arbitration case is only $10 million, the second, the strongest case that Zenith has, which is called ICC2, related to the purchase of CNPC, China National Petroleum Corporation subsidiary in Tunisia, is 130 million. And the exceed case is 503. So the total amount of claims that they have eventually to pay to us is 639 million point five. So I think that they waited to see that we win to then reconsider. I hope for them, because we will be relentlessly attacking and bringing to award the second and the third arbitration, and starting the day after with the injunction in making recovery.
I suppose the other point is that you announced this first arbitration result yesterday, and your share price went up. It was up 50% at one point, but it went up reasonably. But the London stock market is quite a sort of cynical place. They say, well, you've won your $10 million and you might get your $639.5 million at one point as well. But when will the money actually come into your account?
I think that we have demonstrated already one winning point. We have not made recourse to litigation finance, which is very expensive and fickle. We have instead make with our own financial abilities, raising money a little bit there, a little bit here, the funding of the litigation. Despite that, we have top names. As you see, our main litigator is Professor Clay, which is considered the number one in Europe for litigation, and he is a professor at the Sorbonne. He has just been invited for 6 months to teach at the Columbia University, where he has finished teaching 10 days ago. And so we have a robust case together, another strong arbitration firm, Charles Russell Speechley. So with these two firms working together in good teamwork, we are sure that we can carry the second and the third professionally and competently. We have had as well the ability to find good quantum expert. And we are as well very aggressive in making sequestration. We have demonstrated that with the first sequestration that we obtained in May 2022. Unfortunately, a sequestration, which is a temporary measure, can survive only for 12 months. So then eventually this sequestration elapsed in 2023 without the first arbitration being judged on time, which was impossible anyhow. But we are able and willing to find, whatever there is a Tunisian asset, a way to sequestrate it.
And the other point is that you've had your win yesterday, $10 million. The market cap at the moment is around £8 million. So none of that's really been factored in. I mean, you're not really, in terms of the market, it's still saying, well, we'll wait and see.
I respect that. I think that when we will give the announcement that the first sequestration is successfully achieved, and then a few weeks or months later that from the sequestration we got the cash, the check, then there will be a better appreciation of the validity of this arbitration. A lot of people say, well, in arbitration, long time. Please mind that we have made the first start of the arbitration in June, as I said, the summer of 2022. By Christmas 24 is already judged. The second one, started in October, will be judged in February 2025, in 2 months. So we have been keeping a pace with the efficiency as well of the arbitration court, which you should respect for that. We have keeping a pace where in 3 years, all the key arbitration are judged. There are a lot of arbitration that last 5, 10 years.
So this is different and special in the sense that you've done this without, or you'll be doing this without litigation finance. You're doing it under your own steam, and it's relatively quick in terms of arbitration timetables that you might get with other companies. But there are a few companies on the market at the moment which have big arbitration deals, let's say, on the table. And do you think that you might expect people to be buying into Zenith shares on the basis of the next two arbitration results?
Well, we hope. We don't want to say that we are special or super, nothing too arrogant. We are just simply saying that we are delivering a very relentless activity in this arbitration. First of all, there is a great regret because we would have delivered to the shareholders thanks to our effort to stay in Tunisia despite the pandemic, which I think is commendable. We would have delivered 4 fields producing, and with the new price of oil after the invasion of Ukraine, it would have been a very profitable company having a decent market cap in the space of juniors in London. Unfortunately, this has been destroyed by the illegal activity of the Tunisians, so we need to compensate our shareholder more with the proceeds from the arbitration.
And do you think that also, that you've also proven the credibility of Zenith Energy in the market in the sense that, you're taking on a sovereign government and you're winning?
Indeed. It's not easy, I can assure you. The Tunisians, they have been defaming us, using all the ways to make us in difficulties. They have not paid a penny of the arbitration processes. We have to pay for us and for them. And so that has been a very unsporty relation, and very, very violent and aggressive in terms of legal actions, of course. And we have survived despite the attempt to bury us.
And I mean, there's no prospect of them just the Tunisians simply just reversing the sequestration of a couple of years back and saying, okay, we put our hands up, you can have everything back, and let's call it quits.
I don't know, but our attitude at the moment is not to show the willingness to pause and to make peace. They should come. They made the irregularity. They should come with an offer, not us volunteering a peace. We are very happy to go on as we have done with these legal actions.
Andrea Cattaneo from Zenith Energy, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for your time.